Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and never will. And citation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article real quick. It says NATO flags defaced as thousands rally in Paris. All right, and this is something I spoke about a little bit over the weekend as well too. About America's allies. As far as this prophecy being fulfilled, man. Overall that was pretty much going into that. But prophecy being fulfilled here as well. As far as the scriptures speak about the beast starting to hate the whore. All right, and this is what you're starting to see, man. All right, and I've been speaking about this for quite a while as far as certain of the NATO members and some of the things that they're doing. It started out in the open with Turkey, all right, and Erdogan over there with the S-400, all right, and all those different things they have going on and the different skirmishes they have going back and forth, with the blocking of the new membership to NATO, all right, arming of the Kurds, from the Americans, the Americans arming the Kurds, going back and forth with them, all right. Then you also have this here scenario with you also had, what was it, what is it, the AU, UK, US deal, all right, which kind of pissed off, some of their other European members, man, all right, because it's pretty much like they're trying to downsize or make their own sub-NATO inside of NATO, man. All right, I believe that's what Australia, UK, and the US, all right, but nevertheless, and also what, with the Germans and the French wanting to create their own plane, and what America stopping them on that. All right, not even to mention about the whole war in Ukraine and the stopping of the energy and natural gases going over there to these nations, right? So you can see why these nations are kind of pissed. You even have here Emmanuel Macron. Well, this isn't Emmanuel Macron, but Emmanuel Macron, who steps up for he's being a diplomatic one out of this here fight. It's just imagine you got two different squads, right? And one squad, you got America as the main head guy in the squad, and then the other squad is, let's just say Russian, them, right? And then part of the homies that's with the squad, you got, France, Emmanuel Macron. Now, most time when one person beefing with the other person, they all on that rah-rah shit, and everybody, they all in unison. Well, in this case, you got Emmanuel Macron's like, well, hold on, let's be diplomatic here. Let us talk about it. Let us at least go see what they talking about. Let us go at least see if he actually said that shit that you say he said about you before we start fighting. He's being the so-called logical one, man. You got a high school beef. Oh, I heard you was talking shit. I heard you said X, Y, and Z about me, this, and that. Now we finna be fighting. Now, not to even mention, like in the old high school beef, they probably didn't even say all that. Somebody just probably just stirred that up, and this might be just some BS or whatever. You might just be on that rah-rah shit, but at least you got one of your friends, all right, which is Emmanuel Macron from France, saying at least hold on, before we go over there and start throwing them hands, let me go and at least check him out and see if he actually said that or if he actually feel this way before we all get suspended from school for no reason, right? We all lose everything. This is what you got going on over here, man. France and them is like, look, bro, if there's going to be a war to pop off, Europe is going to be basically in the middle of all this shit, man. All right, America ain't going to be getting, or we know, according to the scripture, America is going to be getting bombed. But from their perspective and things like that, the way they have things set up and everything, again, America's greatest defense is on the other side of the damn globe. All right, and you would have to get through all their allies. You got a buffer zone between America and their enemies, which is all of their allies and Europe and stuff in the middle. All right, so hey, Europe is more or less like, hey, bro, if war pops off, what I'm saying, like we right here in striking zone from everybody else. A lot of these people who don't have, not Russia, but a lot of these nations that don't have super long range missiles, they just gonna hit our ass. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the closest thing to us or to them. All right. So hey, you have Emmanuel Macron is the one that's kind of stepping up in this here scenario, man. All right, but what else is happening to these things, man? All right, it's not just at the top that's speaking like this, man. You have the bottom that's speaking this way too, the population, the regular people, man. So hey, man, you just gotta think about the position that this guy is in. All right, he's stuck between a rock and a hard spot. He's got pressure from Washington to continue on course to keep doing what he's doing, or hey, we could fuck up your country. We could fuck you up economically. We can do all kind of backdoor shit to fuck your country up. And my just speculation is, the situation going on over there in Turkey with that earthquake, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past these damn Edomites to be behind some of that shit because of the fact they're not going along with the plan. It's like, all right, well, we'll give y'all something. Y'all don't want to do this. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You just had to worry about one little situation. Now you got to worry about this big situation, show you not to turn your back on us. America does stuff like that. All right. But not to put it past them. But however, France has to worry about that, man. Hey, if we snub, America and what they doing, all right, and we go completely against the grain, we got them coming at us, right? But if we don't stand up for ourselves, if we don't try to push back against the war, we have the population that's rising up against us right about now. We don't want them to overthrow us, right? So hey, and then on the other side of that, you have hey, we don't really want to piss off Russia because if we do, that's like our life support over there, man. So they're in a real tough spot right about now. All right, but let's read this, and this is really in reality, you should be seeing this mirrored over here in America, man. If these people here in America really understood what was going on, the American population should be doing the exact same thing. But where they at, man? None of them are they're all busy watching the Super Bowl. They all busy watching TV and shit like that, man. They're not worried about none of this stuff that's going on. All right. It says NATO flag defaced as thousands rally in Paris. The organizers claim that some of the 10,000 people protest against sending weapons to Ukraine. It says a major rally against the membership of France and NATO and the supply of weapons to Ukraine took place in Paris on Sunday. And that's pretty much all we need to know here, man. All right, France, a NATO member. All right, you have the population in France. All right, that's protesting against the membership of France and NATO. All right, and it's not that NATO is a problem because the majority of the NATO members is the EU, right? The EU ain't really beefing with the EU. The EU ain't really got no beef with the EU. All right, and you understand the terminology. EU is the European nations over there, right? They don't really got beef with each other. They need one another. That's why they did the EU. They banded together. All right, they need each other. But what don't they need? What is the major issue in NATO? All right, for the majority of the NATO members, what's the problem? You really have an internal conflict. The internal conflict is, let's just put it this, let's name it this way. All right, we'll use the biblical terms. The beast is pissed off at the whore. And the whore want the beast to keep moving towards the edge of the cliff, and the beast is like, hell no, we not finna jump. Look, nigga, if we get close to this here cliff, we gonna fall off. We both finna die, right? And that's pretty much what they got going on. So now the beast is bucking, trying to throw the whore off his back, all right? But yet and still, hey, this is the conflict that you have going on over here, all right? So let's read a little bit more into it. That was the perfect analogy of the whore riding on the beast, getting close to the edge, right? So let's read here. It says, Florian Philippot, the head of the right-wing Les Patriots Party, which organized the march, claimed that it had gathered some 10,000 people, and it was the largest such protest to date. There were 25 smaller anti-NATO rallies. He said 25 smaller NATO rallies were held elsewhere across France on the same day. When they say it was the largest protest to date, it makes me think back to the Yellow Vest protest, in which, like, the scriptures speak about that, man. Uproars of the people in the world. They was uproaring about different things then. Now they uproaring about something completely different now. And this ain't just the only place that they have these protests going on around the globe, man. They're going on damn near everywhere, man. All right. It says videos from France. Hey, shit. Here in America, you got the ones going on for the killing of Jake still, man. All right, they back up at it again. All right, in a time like this where you got World War III on the cups, they over here. Hey, I mean, that is an issue here. Jake getting gunned down from the police out here, but nevertheless, hey, man, you have uproars of the people and distress of nations with perplexity that's going on out here, man. All right, it's all over the place, man. It says videos from the French capital did capture a significant crowd of at least several thousand people carrying French national flags and a large banner reading "For Peace." It says the crowd, hey, when they should say peace and safety, then shall come sudden destruction. These nations all want one thing in their nations, man. They want peace. They tired of this damn Edomite spirit in the globe, man. All right, because Esau, his blessing was the sword. He was going to live by the sword. So, hey, in order for him, like they say about a shark got to keep swimming. Hey, Esau got to keep swinging that sword, man. And guess what? The people are tired of that shit, man. How long to him that laid it himself with thick clay? All right, hey, these nations are ready to rise up against you and bite you, man. All right. The crowd chanted slogans like "No planes, no tanks, no missiles for Ukraine." All right, and what does that really entail, man? Matter of fact, they'll kind of go into it, but hey, it says, let's just read the next couple lines. It says, "Let's get out of NATO, Macron. We don't want your war, and no to World War III, among others." All right, and so going into the planes, the tanks, and the missiles and things like that. This is upon a request of Zelensky to send these things over to Ukraine. All right, and what did Russia say? Hey, anybody that's participating and helping aid Ukraine, they can get it too. All right, and then if y'all better not be sending them no weapons, especially offensive weapons, man. Because if y'all send them weapons that in turn kill Russians, how you think we finna view that, man? All right, so hey, we're gonna view that as an act of aggression, and you're gonna be on the in the target site too, man. All right, because hey, if we look at it, it's like, hey, man, we see y'all coming towards us, or sending tanks, towards Ukraine and everything. Hey, that's a target as well too, because we don't want them tanks to get loose and then to start doing some damage to us. We're gonna just take out the whole damn train before it even arrives, man. All right. It said at some point during the event, Philipot got on stage and used scissors to cut the blue NATO flag in half to the cheers of demonstrators. NATO means war, he proclaimed, and exactly that's what they're going into because of the fact of you know uh, you know, like I just mentioned, arming all, keep arming and arming and arming Ukraine is going to do nothing but just put targets on your country's back. All right. And then, like I said, you in striking zone from Russia, where Russia can hit anybody. But, you're going to be on the target list, all right, of those missiles dropping down. All right. It says the politician has been staging protests against French membership in NATO and the EU since the fall, while also harshly criticizing weapon deliveries to Ukraine throughout the present conflict. It says between 2012 and 2017, Philipot was the deputy head of the biggest opposition party in France, Reassemblement National, or the National Rally, which until last year was led by Marine Le Pen. After leaving the National Rally, the 41-year-old established his own party, Les Patriots. It says French President Emmanuel Macron has been one of the few Western leaders to maintain contact with Vladimir Putin during the fight in Ukraine. So, hey, like I said, man, well, let's read the next line. It says, he had also spoken about the need to achieve a ceasefire that wouldn't humiliate Russia, much to the displeasure of the Ukrainian government. So this is one of the very few Western leaders, all right, that's with NATO, that's with America, all right, that's saying, hold on now, wait a minute now, hold on, let's listen to the demands of Russia. You also have Erdogan as well over there in Turkey, but trying to have how they call them negotiations and things like that. So but they've already kind of been on the fence, man. All right, but for France, all right, a big major partner of the U.S. to be bucking up against them. This is some major stuff going down, right? It says French has nevertheless been one of the main suppliers among the EU states of heavy weapons to Ukraine. Paris provided Kiev with the Caesar howitzer and other equipment early in the conflict. In January, Macron announced that Vladimir Zelensky's government would be getting dozens of French-made AMX-10 armored personnel carriers, often described as light tanks. He also didn't rule out the delivery of the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Rafale fighter jets, but said it wouldn't happen in the coming weeks. All right, so hey, they're just anteing up. All right, it says Russia has stated many times that providing arms, Western nations have made themselves de facto participants in hostilities. The line between indirect and direct involvement is gradually disappearing, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has said last week. And really, Russia's being very merciful upon the Western nations at this point in time, man, because they said, hey, look, if y'all keep arming them first, that was the red line. Stop arming them. Remove your militaries up out of there. That was the red line. They crossed that there red line, and they kept arming them. In fact, they gave them more arms, right? They didn't withdraw their troops. In fact, hey, they sent more troops, right? So then what did Russia do? Russia wound up defending themselves. Now you got this conflict. Now they say, hey, anybody that's providing them aid and things like that, they can get it too. Y'all better not give them long-range missiles, tanks, and planes. And what do you think is on the menu right about now? So, hey, when it comes downtown, we all know where this is all going to lead. All right. But when it all gets down to their point, as far as, you American citizens go, hey, man, don't nobody want to hear that sentiment. Oh, Russia, the bad guy, Russia, this big threat, Russia, this monster, without looking at the mirror inside of your face, man. Because like, Job speak about this, man, your own schemes brought you down, man. All right, your own plans have brought you down, man. You laid a trap in the ground for yourself, man. This is of your own doing. All right. So let's just jump into some scriptures real quick. It's not going to be very, very long, but nevertheless, hey, this is what we starting to see right now. This here relationship is going downhill. All right. This is Luke 21. Let me start at verse 9. It says, but when you should hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. All right. And then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And we have this going on right now, especially with these so-called, they call them so-called UFOs, but these balloons and things like that, they keep getting shot down and everything else like that, trying to bait China into war. All right. Sending the threats of sending tanks and planes over to Ukraine. All right. It's only just going to heighten up the conflict with Russia. All right. So, hey, you have all kind of wars and conflicts and rumors of wars that's taking place all over the globe as we speak, man. And all it's going to do is intensify. All right. Verse 11, it says, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places." And we have that going on. Look at Turkey, man. 20,000 people dead over there, man. Turkey, Syria. All right. You had one in Buffalo. All right. You just recently had one in California not too long ago, man. All right. It says, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven." All right. And right now you got the egg shortage, chicken price hikes, and everything else like that, man. All right. All these different things is going on simultaneously, man. All right. And getting still, like the scriptures say, as in the days of Noah, all right, they was going to be eating, drinking, giving into marriage and marrying. Same thing is going on all day, every day out here in Babylon the Great. Most people don't even realize that half the shit that's going on around the globe. And all these 20,000 people just died, probably even more than that in Turkey. I guarantee there's some Americans that have no idea about that. Well, earthquake? What earthquake? What you talking about? I don't know about no earthquake. 20,000 not to say a large chunk of people in comparison to the globe, but a large chunk of people to die at one point in time and in an instant. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people to die at one point in time, man. All right. And getting still, most people just living their life, have no idea about these things that's going on, man. All right. Let me jump on down to verse 25. All right. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars." And again, you just had another one just recently happen. Was it like an asteroid or a meteorite that it just exploded out in space or whatever like that? All right. It says, "And upon the earth, distress of nations." All right. And perplexity, or with perplexity. And this is, like I said, going into the Emmanuel Macron's situation, man. It's like, hey, being him is a tough job right about now, because it's like, who do you please? Do you please America and keep doubling down and sending these weapons over to Ukraine, but pissing off Russia, who is supplying you with the natural gas and the energy that you need to survive, which in turn is going to piss off the citizens in your nation, which can uprise and overthrow your whole government? Or do you appease your citizens and make a deal with Russia and then piss off America and wind up being on their bad side? All right. So, hey, which one do you do? This is a perplexed decision to make. All right, because you can't just stand alone. And if you make this decision, is the rest of the EU going to follow along with you? Because if you piss off America, you know what I'm saying, you get kicked out of NATO, but then the rest of the EU is with them, and then they tell you, hey, you can't trade with them. So now you cut off of the rest of the EU as well, too, man. All right, so this is a perplexed situation to make this decision on, man. All right, so hey, these are the times that we're living in right about now. But let's go from there to Obadiah. All right, 1:7. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy," or in the NLT, it says, "all of your allies will turn against you." All right. And this is what we're starting to see happen right about now. And keep, this prophecy has, been ringing for quite a while. But like I said, it's just, you can compare this to a relationship that you see going downhill, a man and a woman that's living together and everything else like that, going from eating dinner together every night at the table or whatever, watching their favorite TV shows, to now, one of them, they both basically picking up food on the way home from work. They eating out every night. One watching TV in the room, the other one watching TV on the couch till they fall asleep out on the couch. They ain't really talking in the household, staying out late, going out with their friends all the time. And man, that relationship's pretty much over with, man. They're just planning and plotting their little exit strategy before they can get up out of there, man. Before they say, you know what, it's over with. Because, hey, they still have to have a roof over their head. They can't just up and leave like that, man. They don't have nowhere to go. And so this is pretty much the position that, as we were about to continue reading, this is pretty much the position that America's allies are in. And we're going to read this in the NOT. It says, "All of your allies will turn against you, and they will help to chase you from the land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you." So like I was just saying, this is like that relationship, they ain't called it the relationship over with yet, but, one is sleeping on the couch, the other one's sleeping in the room. They both going out to eat every night, separate, you know what I'm saying, bringing some takeout home every night. They ain't really talking. They still saying, yeah, we still in, the body language, someone is still saying, yeah, we still in this relationship together. Yeah, we still coming home together, this and that. But in reality, the signs that they're showing is, look, I'm on my way up out of here. As soon as I find me a spot to stay, I'm about to move my shit and get up out of here, man. You're going to get that, what they call a Dear John letter, I believe it is. Basically a breakup letter, man. All right. It says, "They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it, man." And so, hey, with these nations that see what you're doing to their nations and things like that, hey, please believe that they're setting up backdoor deals with Russia to basically undermine you, man. All right, to get that better position. It's like, hey, we got to create an insurance policy just in case such and such happens, man. you know, for instance, going back into that relationship situation, man. All right, if I'm about to move out and everything, some women do these types of things. You know what? They're like, you know what? I know that this nigga crazy. I can't just leave him. What I need to do is when he go out to work, or maybe call the police on him, let this nigga get locked up. And while he's away, I'm finna move out, finna change the locks, change my phone number, move somewhere else, go change jobs. So when he get out, he ain't gonna be able to find me. You know what I'm saying? They got to work on that contingency plan. It's not just like they getting into an argument today. Fuck it, I'm out of here. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I mean, where are you gonna go? All your shit is at the house. You got to come back to the house. You can't be that afraid. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody, like I said, in an abusive relationship, man. Well, if I say fuck you at this point in time and just bounce, all my stuff, I got to come back and see you. I don't want to be in that position. So what am I going to do is, all right, I'm going to play my cards right. And at a certain point in time, I'm going to wait to either I've seen this happen before. You get locked up over whatever domestic dispute or something like that, or you go to work or, whatever, you're going to be gone for a while. You're going out of town for your job for a couple of days. And when you come back to an empty apartment, phone number change, the old lady didn't skip state. She in a whole nother state. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ain't no way of finding her at that point. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is what you have going on with America and their allies, man. All right. To the end of what? All right. Revelation 17, was it 16? All right. Revelation 17 and 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. All right. And so ultimately, like we just read about how they're promising you peace, but plotting to deceive and destroy you. Ultimately, they're going to turn their arrows, those missiles that they have, and shoot them on America, man. All right, that's going to be one of the cheapest way to get up out of here. Is like, you know what? Is it going to be cheaper for me to pay the car off, or is it cheaper for me to just make an insurance claim on this bad boy? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? We might as well go ahead and make an insurance claim, because at least then we'll get at least $1,000, $2,000 back from this bad boy. We can put a down payment on the next car. But if we have to keep, you know what I'm saying, making payments on this bad boy, hey, bro, we finna be broken. We ain't gonna have the car no way, man. They gonna come and take the car back anyway. So, hey, we got to do what's best for us. All right. And this is what you're starting to see happen, man. So, in the near future, don't be surprised when America has more enemies, and their enemies look like past friends. All right. So, hey, this is where things are heading to. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us his truth and our will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.